In the year 20XX, unidentified blue light appears all over the world. They have confirmed that the new unidentified energy in blue light is harmless to the human body. When an electronic device is exposed to blue light, the device has a temporary failure due to the energy that makes the light, checking the possibility of entering into the blue light. The blue portal was given the name portal. Unidentified creatures, they call them monsters. The habitat of the monsters is inside the portal. They called this space dungeon. They immediately confirmed their investigation. About 7 to 9 days have passed since the occurrence of the portals. They are checking the energy reduction generated in the portals and dungeons. Suddenly something creepy comes out from inside the portal. The phenomenon of monsters leaving the dungeon. Panic broke out. 3 hours passed, 7 hours passed, after 1 day, after 2 days, after 3 days. After 4 days, a large number of monsters were subjected. And at the same time, a small number of humans and living beings using an unknown power were identified. After 8 days, the people who had this weird power were given the name Awakeners. And 10 years later now, a guy is working in the mine. Suddenly the portal opens and he sees towards it. Meanwhile, in the evening, all the mine workers gather together in the same place. In between all this, the guy puts his axe on the rack. After that, handgun Ya opens his neck chain and takes a deep breath. Suddenly the mining specialist group leader Kim Jeong-cheol says, "Everyone, you have done well. You may now return your armband to Yong-sil, receive your salary, and go home." After saying all that, he suddenly stops Gun-ya and says him to come here for a second. Then Gun-ya goes to him, suddenly takes out something from his pocket and gives it Gun-ya. While giving it to Gun-ya, he says, "Here, it's your payment for today." After that, Gun-ya takes it and says thank you and asks him, "But why am I receiving it from you instead of Yong-chil?" Then Kim replies, "It's not easy mining in a dungeon, yet you never fail to come to work." And also says, "I added a little more than usual. I'm the one giving your salary because I didn't want it to get mixed up with anyone else. Give me your armband and go home. Let's keep working hard in the future." After listening to all that, Gun-ya says, "Thank you, Captain. I will continue to work hard." Then Kim says, "It's nothing, get home safely. The dungeon tomorrow is quite far, so sleep early and don't be late." While going toward his home, he thinks, "Since I got a bonus, I get my sister's favorite food for dinner and buy some of her favorite sweets." After taking the food and sweets, he goes inside his home. While entering into his home, he says, "I'm home." After listening to that, her younger sister Han Yi-rai comes out and says, "You are here, brother." Then Gun-ya asks her, "Yeah, have you had dinner? Did you just study all day again?" She replies, "Not yet," and asks him what's for today's dinner. Then he replies, "Your favorite food that we haven't eaten in a long time." After that, they both eat dinner together. Meanwhile, next day in the morning, Kim says to him that today's work is cancelled. "There's nothing behind me, right? This was where the portal was supposed to be. The portal given to us by the party we have a contract with was bought by someone unauthorized last night and has cleared the dungeon. Thanks to that, the portal is gone. We just got in touch with the others and told them there's no work today, but you didn't get it. I'm sorry you had to come all the way here, but go back home for today." After listening to all that, he sees his hand phone and thinks that the hand phone is too old, so I couldn't get in touch with the others in the end. This happened. I only paid for transportation. After that, he starts walking, and while walking he thinks, feeling like this wouldn't change anything, so let's not be gloomy. I came out so early today, I can go visit my father for a change. While preparing for the certification exam and the recruitment of the association's office workers, I should also study for the recruitment test. And the side dishes are still in the refrigerator. While thinking all that, he suddenly stops and sees a girl and a kid. The girl shouts and asks the kid, "Hey, Kim Cheol-soo, did you really drop your wallet here?" Then the kid replies, "It's really around here. Wait a minute." Then she asks him, "Why did you go to a place like this? And just what the hell have you been doing here to lose your wallet?" Then he replies, "If I told you that I came all the way here for adventure, you will definitely kill me." Suddenly her phone rings and she sees on her phone that the place where they are standing is a dungeon break. After seeing that, she thinks finding the wallet isn't important right now, we need to hurry up and go. Then she says, "Hey Kim Cheol-soo, right now there's a dungeon break near us, so we should go." While saying all this to the kid, she sees something and gets shocked and sees something. And the kid is busy finding his wallet. Suddenly he finds it. With his wallet he also sees someone's fur and thinks, "What's that doing there?" Suddenly he moves his head up and sees a big monster standing in front of him. After looking at him, he gets shocked and afraid. After looking at the monster, the girl thinks a monster. It's been less than 5 minutes since the evacuation alarm went off. First, just like what I learned in school, I shouldn't make any sounds. It's a relief that it's a monster with bad eyesight, so I don't think he's seen us yet. But Cheol-soo is too close. What do I do, Cheol-soo? While standing still in front of the monster, he thinks, my legs won't move. I want to run away, but I can't move. I'm scared, please somebody help me. Between all that, Gunya picks up the brick and throws it on the head of the monsters. Then he says, "You both run, I will lure it up. Hurry up." After that, he distracts the monster and says, "Hey, you ugly gorilla bastard. It's this way." "Catch me, you jerk." The gorilla listens to him and starts chasing him. Then the girl says her brother to run. Her brother says, "I have to report, we need to save him." While running, Gunya thinks, "When I was a child, portals suddenly appeared all over the world." Shortly after the portal was created, the portal was disturbed by the monster who came out of the portal. And over time, some humans have begun to use unidentified powers. Human beings who used power were called awakeners, and they began to reclaim the world from the monsters with helpers from other worlds. There was hope that it would be peaceful again, and my family believed it. However, after a while, the monster who hid in the shelter killed my mother. Perhaps because of the shock, I was also awakened and rescued by that late arrival. Awakening and gaining a rare ability to strengthen the body, with the magical special power called strengthening the mana. Even though I'm awakened, my physical ability is no different from before. I'm so weak that I don't even know if I have a special ability. Even if I use a small quantity of mana, I have to suffer from muscle pain for 4 days. Nevertheless, I took the hunter test just in case to make a lot of money by hunting with the local hunter association. Most of my stats don't meet the criteria. I'm a failure. Let's get back to the story. When the goods disappeared to a certain extent, people tried to stabilize the nation and society to prevent individual power abuse. My father, a police officer, also tried hard for society's stability and for both my sister and me. However, society lacks the strength and experience to stop the violence of the awakened individuals. Eventually, my father got caught up in this mess. He suffered a severe head injury and fell into a coma. After many years, he still hasn't regained consciousness. One day, I dropped out of high school and started to make money. I managed to live because of my really hard work, and recently working hard is a breathtaking for a while and the pay is good. So I can never die. Suddenly the monster jumps on him, but he dodges him and thinks, that was dangerous. Almost got caught and killed. After that, he sees that the monster is lying and thinks, did it just faint from the shock? It's not moving. While he is running, his ankle twists. Then he thinks, I can't run away with this pain. Rescue calls, or is there anywhere I can hide? Suddenly he sees a safe place. Then he thinks to go inside the building because he couldn't able to run with that pain. While going inside, he thinks there's no one, they have already fled to the shelter. Then suddenly the monster wakes up. Meanwhile, in the building, Gunya thinks, I barely made it up. Climbing the stairs to the 3rd floor with one leg, was I not scared? But still, I will be safe now. That monster, I saw it in a book when I studied as a hunter. Suddenly his phone rings and he thinks, did I get a text message? Then he sees his phone and thinks, no. How long has it been since the property appeared? And now I'm getting an evacuation message. Did that message really come this late because my phone is old? Should I really change this? That's enough of running away. First, I would like to ask the association for help, right? Suddenly he sees a red light and he goes toward it. After seeing it closely, he thinks this is a dangerous red zone. Very occasionally, a unique portal that is different from the ordinary ones was found. There are a total of 3 types of gates, including normal ones that connect with a dungeon. The average gate has a light blue color and some sparks like an electric current. However, there is a gate with a dark blue color with no mana spark, which is called the bridge portal. And there is the red portal, with no mana spark, is called the red zone. First of all, the bridge gate isn't connected to a dungeon. This one connects to another world, another dimension, like a bridge. Unlike the other 2 portals, the bridge has a guardian who protects it. And I don't know if it's true because I heard a rumor that you have to pay a price to pass through it. Several bridge portals have been discovered since the first portal was created, beyond which there were magical species belonging to games, completely different from humans who use martial arts, like martial arts novels, and even mythical beings who were considered as legends. Most of them did not slaughter humans like monsters. Rather, some beings beyond the bridge made a contract with Earthlings at time first dungeon break, and then subjugated powerful monsters with the Earth's awakeners, contributing to the Earth's stabilization. Some are said to be living on Earth now. Next, the red zone is a portal connected to the dungeon, but with many differences compared to traditional portals. First is the time difference. A typical portal has no time difference between the inside and the outside, but the dungeons in the red zone have a time difference. It's not accurate, but an hour outside is 8 hours inside. Second, the reward size. The rewards in the dungeon are or on the way to the boss. High-quality corpses and bloodstones of powerful monsters. Skills that can be obtained when defeats the boss with a small probability. The boss's weapons or armor and the treasures in the boss room. Of course, it is impossible to get all of these in one dungeon, whether it is a normal dungeon or a red zone dungeon. But the amount of rewards is said to be larger than that of a normal dungeon. Third, unable to measure the difficulty. Determine the dungeon's level difficulty by the amount of mana generated. The red zone doesn't leak any energy or even a tiny bit of magic power, so it's impossible to determine the difficulty level. However, most of the red zones so far have been said to be of very high difficulty. Fourth, closed dungeon, you may not be able to come out. Unlike general portals that are free to enter and exit, the red zone is said to be closed occasionally. This is called dungeon closing. According to the stories of the survivors of the red zone that have appeared so far, it is said that when the boss is defeated, a portal is created that leads to the outside of the boss room. However, it is said that there are cases in which the party does not appear in the closed red zone and the portal disappears. No one knows what happened inside the red zone. And no matter how much time passes, the dungeon break does not occur other than that. It's a mysterious portal that hasn't been revealed yet. Basically, weapons, armor, various ores, as you would get from a common dungeon. It's a very small possibility, but you can learn skills just by reading them. You can even get accessories that can strengthen the user. If you are lucky, you can get items that have never been discovered before. So people can use the red zones as a kind of lottery ticket for their life. It gives us a lot of wealth, but it's illegal to enter without permission because it's too dangerous to measure dungeon closure and difficulties. As a rule, red zones should be reported to the Hunter Association or the Awakening Control Bureau immediately. The discoveries are said to be a considerable amount of compensation. I can't believe I have seen it while studying at the association. People need to learn, considering that there are only 11 red zones in the world. Is this the first discovery in Korea? Anyway, I'm not even going around the dungeon, so if I don't go in, it's fine. Once you report the rescue and become safe, report the red zone and receive a bounty. Suddenly he listens the screaming sound of the monster from the downside of the building. After that, he thinks, how did it know that I was here? Didn't it have bad eyesight and only its ears are good? I'm sure because of the book. Oh, come to think of it, it said it could temporarily amplify its hearing dozens of times. Damn it, now that I remember, it's too late. There's only one staircase going down. If I try to go down, I will run into that thing with my ankle like this in the first place. It will catch up with me in no time. Do I have to hide in the building materials? Wait a minute. I read in the book that once a monster comes out, it never goes in again. It means that I can disappear into the red zone. Will he go inside the red zone? And will he get some powers inside red zone or not? To find out, just do like, comment, subscribe, and share it with your friends.